car.
Well, welcome back to the News at Noon. We are joined with Dr. Cathy Slusher from Harrisonburg OBGYN. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Because we are going to talk about a pretty controversial issue out there right now about Gardasil. If you can just explain, quick and simple, what is Gardasil?
Gardasil is the vaccine to the human papillomavirus, and it's an important vaccine because it protects against the evolutionary process of going from a bad pap smear on into cervical cancer, and the human papillomavirus has been shown to have a direct relationship to it, at least some subtypes.
And with the controversy, some are saying that the risks might outweigh the benefits. What are the risks of Gardasil?
The main risk are the injection itself, and what's common is pain, soreness, heat at the injection site, which a lot of the girls are experiencing. And this is eligible to girls who are 9 through 26, and the primary target group is the 12 to 18 group, preferably before there's any sexual activity going on, to get a good immunity before they have any exposure to the human papillomavirus, which is present in 70 to 80% of sexually active Americans. So the main risk is going to be the pain at the site. Occasionally there can be some muscle aches or fatigue for a day or two afterwards, just the typical things you see with any immunization. What's gotten the heat up is there's been some reported seizures in very, very few individuals. These have not been proven to be directly related to the vaccine, but they were temporal in that they occurred around the time of the vaccine, so they can't be totally eliminated as a side effect of the vaccine as well. But still, the number is very, very small, and the benefits are very, very large.
And what exactly are the benefits? And you believe they outweigh the risks?
I do believe it, and I believe it very strongly, because the benefits are to protect against getting the HPV vaccine into one system where it can start to mess with the cervix and the cervical changes, causing dysplasia and eventually cervical cancer. And even if you're not going to get the cervical cancer, there's still a lot of middle ground there that I think people don't realize. And these are adults making decisions for their daughters, and they need to be aware of what is that scenario. It's not promoting sexual activity. It's not saying that or promoting activity with somebody who's been promiscuous. What it's doing is protecting against a virus that is out there in big numbers. What happens is when somebody comes in and has an abnormal pap smear, the next step is to get a colposcopy or a microscopic examination of the cervix with biopsies. Well, now, when you have that abnormal pap smear and you're reeled in to get the colposcopy, you're talking about heightened stress, tears to the limit, fears, because you know that something's not right and you know the risk is cervical cancer. The next step, is moving on in long-term follow-up to watch this resolve if it's mild, or if it's a moderate to high degree, you're talking about a procedure that you go in and you actually shave off or eliminate that disease to try to let healthy tissue go back. Or if somebody in the throes of having children and doing all this stuff kind of forget to go to get their pap smear for a few years, you could end up with cancer and never even realize it. So, I mean, this is a big decision, and this is a huge, important health benefit. Even if you don't get cancer, the stress, the tears and fears that go into the middle of it are huge, and they have a huge impact.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Slusher, for joining us today. We're running out of time. If you have questions, you can call Dr. Slusher at 540-434-3831.